My dad died tonight. I've held his hand a lot recently. I was in Leeds on Wednesday and they called and said he was fading fast and he hadn't eaten or drank for 24 hours. I asked him to put the phone to his ear and I said, Dad, it's me, Dad. Listen, Dad, fight it, Dad, don't give up. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, Dad, I love you. The nurse said he perked up when he heard my voice. Thursday, I was with him for hours. I spoon-fed him ice cream and chocolate mousse. He came alive. And then Friday, he was tapping along to marching band music as I sang and whistled. The look on his face when I whistled along to the tune of Hitler has only got one ball. Hey, I swear he was laughing. This last week, he was dying. The doctor said he was finished and he had a matter of days to live, but I managed to get him to open his eyes. He was responding, he was sitting up, eating and drinking. I had him for 2 days. And then after I left on Friday, I think he slipped back and died tonight. He fought hard for months. I went to the care home tonight. I closed his eyes and straightened out his body. I put my arms around him and I hugged him and I kissed him and said I was sorry, that I loved him. I lay on his bed for over half an hour. I couldn't take it in that he was gone. There he was, lying next to me. His arms and legs were still warm, and yet he couldn't respond. At least he stopped me ruining my car. I cried buckets next to him. These last 4 months, we've had the relationship that we've never had before. That's what I'm grieving. I'm grieving the loss of the relationship he never allowed me before. I opened my heart to a man who I was never close to. A man who fought with me. A man who many times I hated because of the way he treated my mother. A man who I often wish were dead. A man who was so strong that he dominated the family even when he was old. And a man whose hand I've held a lot recently. Who I've spoon-fed and showed him how to chew and swallow and given him sips of his favourite fizzy pop from a bottle top. One time, when it looked like the pain was getting too much for me, he was pushing really hard against my shoulder with his feet and legs. And I leaned in and I said, Dad, if it gets too much for you can go, you know. You can close your eyes any time, it's all right. I was so tired that sometimes I'd fall asleep. And suddenly I'd get this whack on the arm and I'd look over. And he'd have this look on his face as if to say, what the bloody hell are you doing? I'm the one that's dying, not you. And I'd laugh. And I'd say, listen, Dad, when the weather's better, I'll take you for a drive along the seafront to Seaton Carew. Oh, he loved it there when he was a boy. I said, we'll go to Staincliffe, we'll get a pint, and we'll have fish and chips on the front. As ill as he was, he mimed a pint glass with his hand. And he said softly, beer. I got the care home to make him a beer shandy up and I gave him sips of it. He loved it. He's gone now. I feel so sad for him. I think our blind to what everyone else could see this week. He was thin and frail and dying, but I just kept giving him all my energy to try and keep him going. I think in the end, he said to himself, I've had enough, I'm going. Before I could get there to pep him up again, he stopped me. Red light in the car. Just enough time for him to take his last breath at his own pace, when he wanted, on his terms. I was devastated. But I have to be realistic. I mean, he came back to life Thursday and Friday. By Saturday, he'd had enough of me turning up and bringing him back to life again. Death is the most cruel finality ever. It's my first time, and it's horrible. I've joined the club now. I can join in when everyone else is talking about losing a parent. Most people have experienced it, and now it's my turn to understand it. I wonder if I hadn't visited him so much in the last 4 months and held him and loved him so much, whether I'd feel this shocked. When I saw him tonight, lying on the bed, all thin and frail, and his body all twisted, and his mouth locked open, it was shocking. Of course, the care room said, no, we're not allowed to touch him after they've died. Bloody PC brigade again. But I managed to leave him lying with some dignity. I straightened him out, I closed his mouth, and I covered him up. And I said, I love you, Dad. I always will. I'm sorry about how things were. All the fighting and the shouting. Our lives were full of dramas. But we had some laughs too. I hope you're all right and you're playing on the beach with your brothers. A couple of years ago, my dad said to me, hey, when I die, don't waste your time grieving. Get on with your life. I've had a good run, put me in a box, and get on with your life. Got to look after my mum now. Got to make sure she's okay. I'll appreciate every moment I've got with her, even when she does get on my wick. I bet she says the same about me. I love you, Dad. Bye for now.